We got a new harness, a new leash. She got new toys and treats. And she locked herself in a car. But we had left the windows open. It was running with the air conditioner on. We just stuck a stick in there and popped the lock and got right in. It was nice just hanging out with a friend. Spent the morning with a friend. Been a long time. So with all these videos, normally people go through changes like this, and it's because they joined a religion. Or maybe they're trying to start one. No, I'm just giving myself permission to feel how I always wanted to feel. When I was a teenager, I cried because I wanted to wait until I got married to have sex. Because before that, I just wanted to be a nun. Wait for the biker to go by. So I always felt that I did not want the kind of relationships going on around me. I knew I wanted to be isolated and different. I raised my kids, especially the youngest ones. I whole life unschooled them, which means they learned what they wanted to learn when they wanted to learn it. And I remember my son, he asked about government. What's government for? What's it do? And my intention in parenting was to allow my children to arrive at their own conclusions according to their authentic selves. So, as nonchalantly as I could, I simply explained, well, government will take part of the money from when you work, and they'll create roads and things like that, establish schools, legal systems to lay down laws, how we should behave towards one another, and if we have to go to war, they maintain an army. And my son just broke down in hysterics, crying, why do people have to be so mean? And I'm probably not the only one who hasn't given themselves permission to feel how they truly feel about things. Yes, people complain about taxes and try to play with their income tax forms and try to go around it, but they don't live in accordance with it. And what I've done on so many levels, especially going someplace like the slabs, where I didn't have to pay taxes and I could live as a sovereign being as much as possible without registration, without insurance. It's living in accordance with those feelings that we truly give ourselves permission to feel how we truly feel about anything. when I look at adults with dementia, Alzheimer's, I think the only difference between them and me is that because I made it my goal to be a chain breaker, to break the cycles of abuse in my family, I connected the dots. I kept the memories of why I made the choices I did, why I sacrificed my authentic self, why I made choices that I didn't want to make, but I feel like I had to make. But when you're in your 70s and your 80s, by then you've forgotten why you behaved the way you did, why you made the choices that you did, why you drilled it into your children that they had to make those choices. But they want to give up that ghost. And so that's why people with dementia and Alzheimer's are just children again. They disconnected from that old personality and they've given themselves permission to feel how they truly feel. And sometimes that comes out as anger. Because we aren't always allowed to feel angry about things that make us angry. If we have everything we need, we don't complain so much about taxes and fees because we can afford them. And we still have things that make us happy. We convince ourselves we have enough and we're content. So I can let go of that old personality slowly, with intention and observation, so I know how it's happening and why it's happening, instead of waiting until later on in my life and just snapping. Oh, there's a cardinal over in the bush near the butterfly. And if asked how would I spend my days, what do I want my life to look like, it would look like this. Knowing I have a shelter to go back to with everything that I need to take care of my body, connection to community when I feel like it, but just sitting out here enjoying nature and losing track of time. Pretty simple and easy. It doesn't feed the machine. Certainly not feeding women's hygiene product marketing. I'm not giving people what they believe they need from me, what they need me to be happy. And that's where the conflict arises. And if any part of them recognizes that voice within themselves that just wants to get lost in their passion and their fascinations and lose track of time, and they aren't willing to make choices in accordance with it, well, then they're really going to have to shut me out. And the reason why I'm usually drawn to younger men is their anger's fresher and they want to let go of it. Whereas older men, They've held on to it for so long that if they let go of their anger, they don't know who they are. They don't know how to respond or react. It's what keeps them alive, gets the adrenaline flowing in their blood. I prefer to get my adrenaline flowing with excitement, with pleasure. See, when we relax, all the valves open, and adrenaline's just another part of the mix flowing in the waters of our body, because all those glands are relaxed and releasing as well. We don't have to force it out and condition our body, our glands, for example, the adrenal glands, to only release adrenaline with anger or with self-destruction. We don't have to only allow our spirits to get light when we imbibe in alcohol or we get high. And I realized that a part of me, when it wanted to hide in a relationship. Put your arms around me and hide me. Alcohol, I could hide in alcohol, in the warm feeling, in the becoming unseen as I put on the free, drunk personality. And these are the levels we don't normally get to see about ourselves, to know and to understand. But I was on a mission, and I created momentum. So here I am, closer to the purity that our authentic selves truly is. Pure, clean whispering, a refreshing breeze, a soothing stream. A slow-growing passion and fire of desire. So if you ever meet me, take relationship off the table. It's not there. If I watch you and I see how you treat the people around you, how you do for yourself, how you treat the environment, what you consider and what you refuse to consider, then sparks will slowly grow. And I got no problem letting that in. And it's not setting conditions to being with someone. It's simply choosing not to be with anyone, except for a certain someone. That's just making a choice.